Line unmuted.
Namaste and welcome to Explore the Mysteries with Shri and Kira.
Wow, namaste, beloved ones. We are so delighted to be here with you right now. And you know, Shri, just before we got on the air, my heart was just connecting out with all of you and in the energy of what's coming in this very moment, this second cycle within the cycle. I just wanted to say, you know, we are here, we are ready, we are open, and together we are guided. So thank you for guiding yourself to be with us today, whether you're joining us at TFR Live, hello, we love you, OnenessTalkRadio.com, hello, we love you.
Too.
And Shri, where else are we broadcasting?
We're also at Facebook and Oneness Talk Radio's YouTube channel, so you can pick up the live video at the bottom of the Oneness Talk Radio homepage. You can pick it up at YouTube and you can pick it up at Facebook.
And of course, there's chats going on everywhere, including over at Oneness Talk Radio.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yes, please do, as long as it's supportive. And I know it will be because you guys are extraordinary. And thank you for being here. It is just such an extraordinary moment, Shri. You know, even as we're starting the show today, maybe you guys, let me move a little bit. You can see this graphic right here, okay? So we are in this moment where balance and protection. Check that out. Balance and protection. And if you were with us during Soul Mirrors Thursday night, we started talking about this balance and protection energy. But as it's morphing into this coming moment with the amplification of the ignition of the second cycle within the cycle that started August 15th, balance and protection are this. It's what you're seeing here. And you see how there's like this spiral? So it's a fascinating dance, and it's rising a power that is going to challenge every single aspect of the density experience. It's a big moment.
It is.
I think I'm losing my breath.
you know, I think all people, regardless of their level of consciousness, have a recognition of power.
Yeah.
And power is an energy that has presence. It says, I'm here. I am. And,
yes.
And one of the things that was so brilliantly pointed out by David Hawkins many years ago is there's a difference between force and power.
Mm-hmm.
Within density consciousness, people often mistake force for power because forcefulness seems to overpower them. So they're kind of caught in the victim-y thing of there is something bigger than me. Whereas true power is that authentic energy that arises from the ascended heart. And that true energy is one of the I am. And whether it's balance and protection, that is the natural state of an integrous universe. That's the natural state of an integrous being. It's powerful.
Yes.
Love is powerful. Presence is powerful. Authenticity is powerful. What is force? It's a weak imitation.
And empowerment is power-filled.
Yes.
And that is the opportunity right now that is before all of us. Yet it is this extraordinary, exquisite dance. You know, this morning I have to admit, I was caught off guard when the divine directors, I was actually, Shri and I have been experimenting with all these wonderful new recipes here at Tosa Blue Mountain. And for those of you that are coming, you're going to love our Tosa Blue Mountain cuisine. So today I was making, and I kid you not, guys, this is how it happened. I was down in what I call our Temple of Nourishment, our kitchen, and I was making this really awesome gluten-free almond flour based, it's called a bizcocho, but it's really more like kind of a combination between a cake and a bread. And I was making this feeling great when suddenly it was like I felt the divine directors all around me. I knew that I had to go sit down, and I put some of what they said in our e-card. So I want to read it to all of you because we are at that moment. And I also want to recognize that I see that our phone lines are filling, and we forgot to give out the phone number. I've had people asking. It is 517-208-1500. 517-208-1500.
Give a call.
Get in
we'll
there.
try to get you in on live. We'd love to connect with you on the call board.
And they can hear us while they're holding, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that makes it really easy. So, okay, guys, let's bring a hand to our heart, and let's really feel into, these are just a couple lines that the divine director stopped me. I had to get my cake in the oven. I knew I had 45 minutes for it to bake. And I ran upstairs and said, okay, I am here. I am ready. I am open. Guide me. And here's what they said. They said that just clear from the July Mercury Retrograde, this cycle is mastery preparation, and that it sets the stage for a tug of war between the realms of density. Now, I want to stop right there because I think there's more than even a single show's content in that line.
This sets the stage for a tug of war between realms of density.
Take that in, realms of density, because Sri and I really want to break this down for you because I think it's really important, don't you?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. So, if we tend to sometimes just kind of fly by something without realizing that there's a layered possibility here of meaning.
I'm sorry.
And realms of density certainly could include those stratas of consciousness that we refer to as density consciousness or ascension awareness or spiritual activism. All of those still have a foot in the realms of density. They're defined or contextualized by density in some degree. Well, there's also other places in this universe that are realms of density.
Well, Sri, I'm going to just interrupt. Speaking of realms of density, I saw in the chat room, they're saying there's no sound at Oneness Talk Radio. And I just wanted to make sure. They said there is sound, though, over at YouTube. So I thank you for letting us know that. We do appreciate that very, very much. And this is realms of density, is it not? Because as we are moving forward right now, let me read this again to you guys because there's a lot to unpack here. There's really a lot to unpack. And here it is. Just clear from the July Mercury Retrograde. Now, let me tell you why they're saying that. Because just as a foreshadowing, and I think you guys know that, as a matter of fact, I'm going to put up for you right now the 2019. This was the expanded year overview of energy that I had put out much earlier this year. And you'll notice that what we had noticed then was that this second cycle within the cycle started on August 15th. Well, what is so extraordinary about that is that this year that coincided with, based upon where you are in India, that was also the peak day of Shravan, which is also the day where there is a pledge given between brothers and sisters. It's a pledge of protection. And what was so profound in that energy, in addition to the fact that that was the final day of the release of the Mercury retrograde shadow, was that this energy of balance and protection, think of it as the spiritual brother sister, think of it as the Shiva Shakti within, think of it as this complete moment where on August 15th, and because of the Lion's Gate ignition that came out on the 8th of August, you see, if you're watching the video, this is a big arc, and you'll see there's a big yellow arc there. This arc is taking us literally from the day that Mercury retrograde released, August 15th, to the middle of an active retrograde when we come out. And we are going to come out in November 5th. Now, this is a really profound, this is one of those aha things to be paying attention to, because when we come out of this in November 5th, just like this month right now, we will be back in another choice. Remember, we've been talking about this all month long, that August is a month of choice, and that we will not see this type of choice again until November. And when that choice comes before us, it will literally arrive. It's November 5th is going to be like a magical moment for us there. It will literally arrive, and we will be literally like in between this exact moment and then. And so those of you that took the lineage journey with us, you know how to time travel. You know how to jump forward and look back. You know how to go forward. And for all of you, I would pray that you've been activating those cosmic prime meridians. This is a shining opportunity to look at a moment that is important and a moment that is empowered. It's all about power. And so as Sri and I were sharing before my beloved handled those little tech things, let me read a little bit more of what they said, because there's so much to unpack, and I see the full call board. We're going to get there. I'm sure there's people chatting everywhere. Thank you. We love you.
Yes,
and we have
hug
some
each
emails.
other.
We have emails we're going to read. We're probably going to get to those next. But let me read to this. And if you have our e-card, you can follow this along. I'm reading it right from the e-card. So here we are. Just clear from the July Mercury Retrograde, because the last shadow day was August 15th. This cycle is mastery preparation and sets the stage for a tug of war between the realms of density. The week ahead is one that will catch many off guard with the energies that were resolved in July, and that those resolution energies are going to come forward into your life as like allies and pathways for the next evolution of consciousness. This is a massive week. Everything is colliding this week for this to have a lot of power issues. And again, it's affecting all the realms of density.
You know, it's one thing to have a life. It's another thing to have a conscious life. And as we reflect back on what did get revealed and resolved in July, what did you take home, so to speak, as far as that energy? Because we are being offered this glimpse that will come forward in another way that will powerfully impact your experience and the realms of density.
Especially since it's been resolved. So whatever form that resolution took, the higher aspect of that will come forward, and it's going to come forward in surprising ways. This is a week, remember, the exact language of the Divine Directors is that this is a week that's going to catch many off guard. Now, let's talk about the realms of density. As I was sharing with Sri, we were having a discussion about this before we got on the air today. Many years ago, Archangel Zadkiel explained that within the third dimension, there are 12 realms of density, or 12 experiences of density. And that of those 12 experiences of density that all exist within the third dimension, ours is the densest of the dense. And this is a very profound series of lessons from Archangel Zadkiel. Everything's at our Messages of the Masters. Go find it at our website. And the reason I'm bringing this up is that if what the Divine Directors is sharing is happening, then within the 12 realms of density, and ours being the most dense, this is the perfect moment for a false flag or an alien type scenario that is most likely not real, but orchestrated in conjunction with other realms of density. Remember, and this is what so many beings forget, and forgive me, I pray that if you can have an open mind, if this is the first time you're hearing this, all forms of quote unquote tangible alien life are of density because they are being used in the realms of density. Now, that does not mean that those density experiences are not in the highest sense with beings that are absolutely coming in from another dimensional experience. That is happening, absolutely. But a lot of the fright, the might, the quote unquote conspiracy that would keep you doubting yourself is coming in from other worlds of density that just happen to have a slight enough shift in their frequency that they're not quite as dense as this world is. So this is important to discern. This is why this is mastery preparation, because we are literally getting ready. Powerful language. I want to read this one more time, Sri. Maybe you can talk about it and really hear this, guys.
Let it come in a little different way.
Because sometimes it's that one sentence, and I always think of the primer of the codes, right? Where years ago they said it's often in the one sentence. And let me read that one sentence again. And here it is. Just clear from the July Mercury Retrograde, this cycle is mastery preparation and sets the stage for a tug of war between the realms of density. The week ahead is one that will catch many off guard, while the energies that were resolved in July come forward as allies and pathways to the next evolution of consciousness.
Oh my! So there's so much in here that
I know, right?
and without trying to define how anybody ought to understand this, it's important to understand that we are participating in a grand universe, and that universe is one that has multiple expressions. The allness has expressed in so many ways, and so often people are saying, oh, the grays or some other alien being is frightening or whatever. Well, it's kind of like each being, each entity, each realm of density has its playground. And that playground is for its own evolutionary process. That's part of the whole divine upliftment.
Yeah.
Now, when these playgrounds begin to interact a little bit, that's when all kinds of stimulations can happen. And we're not saying that this is necessarily what's coming forward. What we are wanting to do is offer you a broader perspective, because realms of density also means points of view from within your more familiar circle of interaction.
And speaking of points of view, if you're watching the video right now, you'll see that we just put up for you again that 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, the witnessing the witnesser of the third dimension experience. Why are we putting this up here again? Because that is the mastery preparation. I was sharing with Sri that what's happening this week is balance and protection are mirrors of each other, and they're literally dancing with each other. I mean, literally, I'm watching them dance with each other, and I'm going to flip to this 3D jelly fear thing I've been talking about, because I want to tie this in so that you can see it. So what you have is that this balance protection energy has been the rim of that drop of water, right? So if you gaze at this picture, and if you don't see it, let me try to describe it. This is showing you many different dimensional experiences right now, but it was showing you what's happening in the realm of density. And so in this realm of density, in the realm of density of this experience that we are all co-creating in this illusionary moment right now, we are dealing with this teeter-totter of this balance protection energy. They are dancing together. So what that means is that it will strengthen all of the dimensions, okay? All of the dimensions are being strengthened. And we had been talking about this earlier in August, that it was like July was like the cement was coming together, right? That we were stirring the cement. And that resolution that happened also said, okay, I can't stir this anymore. And so what's happened is this has led to this coagulation, this really deep hardening, so to speak. And in many ways, this is good because it's a strengthening. And this is what I'm saying about the balance protection energy. But the nuance has been this, I'm going to put it up again, this 3D fear graphic, has been this wormy, we're laughingly calling it the fear dimension. We're not telling you there is a dimension of fear. We're just using it as a way to explain what this is. But that goopy, dark area there is the 4th dimension, and that is getting bigger and starting to erode the let's just say the energetic supports that go between the dimensions, between the 4th and the 5th. And this is why there is a sense of instability. And Sri, this is why I have to talk about what people are feeling. How many of you are feeling a sense of instability, or you were feeling great and now you're not, right?
I was just trying to quickly comment over YouTube. Someone was mentioning feeling lost.
Exactly. I was just going to read an email that says that.
So
wow.
We'll go to the email,
so let's go to the email.
I just want to offer a hug of reassurance. That's normal. It comes and goes. And the thing is, the more that lost feeling is there, the greater the opportunity for one to go inward and find out what's really true for you, what's really there energetically. And what's there, in my experience, is that finding a greater portal of your own divine energy.
Yeah.
We are so used to being out-focused and living with identities of interaction that we aren't as facile at living with the identity of the ascended energy.
Yeah.
And so trust yourself, just practice.
Yeah.
Give it time.
Yeah. And guys, he's so right on the money here. And it's so funny, Sri, because if you're feeling lost right now, let me just share with you that Sri and I did talk about that this would come in the mid-August experience. We were very clear that especially between the Lionsgate ignition, which did happen, it was a very strong miracle success, the August 15 energy, and of course that full moon, right? And now we are in this second cycle within a cycle. most likely many of us are questioning. I know I'm going through questioning periods. There might be aspects you are questioning. You might find yourself almost feeling as if you're bipolar at one moment. This is part of the energy. The key is to know that this is what's happening. Our balance and protection is emerging as our power. And if we can flow with this as an ever-refining spiral, then your divine empowerment is getting ready to jettison light years. But this is happening alongside a thickened realms of density experience. And so, Shri, I'm just loving it. It's almost even the same words. Let's read. We have an email here, and since it's over in the chat as well, and people are talking about it, it's funny that this was the email we had selected to read today.
Yeah. So the subject line is, I don't know anymore, ... feeling lost.
Right?
And she begins with, Namaste, beloveds. Well, I don't know anymore. I'm living at home with my parents, no job, no money, feeling very alone and lost. I thought I had it all figured out and was feeling over the moon, though now I'm feeling very defeated, tired, and unworthy. I thought my purpose was music, for it has been such an outlet of expression for my soul, though I feel as though this passion is dying. A lot of me feels as though I deserve to feel this way and be in this hole, which makes it even more difficult to climb out of. I hear everyone's hardships along their journeys, and then I get hard on myself for lacking the gratitude in my current situation, feeling as though I deserve to suffer more. Yes, I know that nobody deserves to suffer ever, but why do I keep digging this hole deeper? Why do I keep closing doors? I don't know what I'm looking for or need to hear, but I'd be grateful for any guidance. Thank you so much for your support. With gratitude, Jennifer.
Well, Jennifer, first and foremost, just bring your hands to your heart. And Shri, even as you were reading that, I could feel your heart. Yeah. And Angel, and for all of you that are saying, yeah, my story is Jennifer's story, the first thing I have to share with you with all my heart and soul is, honey, could you be whipping yourself anymore? I felt like I was back in the Stone Ages doing this, get the demons out of me. Girl, stop. Now, how do we stop doing that? Sometimes it takes the empowered Kali Ma to come up with that sword and chop off the head and say, time to ascend. Now, this is exactly why Shri and I said yes and did something we have never done before, and that was the foundational program that will set you free. If there was ever just one program you would ever take from us, do this one, and it's Navigating the Inner Matrix, and it will change your life. And as I'm looking here, and your name is Jennifer, I did see earlier today a Jennifer register for Navigating the Inner Matrix, and I'm hoping it was you, because here's the key. This program has been out there for like 15 years, and our book Sacred Union, The Journey Home, you get as a free bonus with it, because that book is actually part of the program. This week, and it's only a few more days, you can get the program for $49. Just go to our website and you'll see Navigating. It's right on the homepage. Yeah. And that's because, and we found it to be very serendipitous, guys. We did. We got approached by a group a month ago, right after we saw what was going to happen in August, and we're like, how can we get out and help as many people as possible? And we knew that, we are just giving this away, guys. It is $49. You get Navigating the Inner Matrix, which is normally $129. You get Navigating the Inner Matrix, plus you get an honest to goodness $3,000 worth of additional courses, materials that give them to your friends, give them to your family.
And so you're clear, it's part of this grouping. They call it the Zen Stack.
Right.
So other folks out there, other teachers, other authors are offering their material just as we are offering Navigating the Inner Matrix, so that everyone has a big collection to choose from, and it's all $49.
Including Navigating the Inner Matrix. It's crazy, guys.
So here's the thing. We call it NIM, or Inner Matrix, Navigating the Inner Matrix. Jennifer, the most common negative life script of the ego mind.
And this is all chapter 2 of Navigating the Inner Matrix. How you have checklists. You learn how to find yourself.
Everyone with an ego had this one and has this one. It's called There Is Something Wrong with Me.
Yep.
It's a negative belief. It's imprinted in childhood. And when the ego is stimulated by your ascension process, here's the other side of what you're experiencing. When you have all this light and lifting coming in, the ego is going, wait a minute, I want to be in control. There's something wrong with you.
And remember we talked about August was going to be a Kali moment of the ego. So Jennifer, here's your Kali moment of the ego. What a perfect moment for you to do be navigating the inner matrix while you're living at home, while you are back with your family, while you have it all in your face. You have an opportunity to really break free. And I hope you can see what a master you are to have called that in.
Yeah.
And so thank you for letting us have this, share this email with everyone.
For those of you that are curious, go to Sri
Kira
homepage, click at the
homepage.
top, and let your heart guide you.
Yeah, and do it, because this is like a no-brainer. And honest to God, guys, this is not through us. We could not afford to do this. And so you got to get it through this pack if you want it for this price. This is, if you've ever wanted to do Navigating the Inner Matrix, this is the moment. And even if you don't do anything else that's in the pack, you're getting an incredible value. So think about it. Go look it out. All right. I think, what time are we at, Shri? Oh my goodness gracious. How does that happen?
It just seems to.
It just seems to. Well, I think we have time to take a caller before we get into our first break. So let's go to the call board. And it looks like we're going to start right here. Where is this? Is this Westchester, New York, maybe, Shri?
Westchester,
All
wireless
right.
caller. Hello,
Hi,
you're on the show.
Namaste.
Hi guys. It's Venus. I'm like really in excruciating pain. Like I can't even stand straight. Went to the chiropractor and told me that I can't stay in the same position for a little bit, and it was just nothing. It just happened in a moment because I feel like like the rug's been pulled away. I'm in your releasing trauma class, and I've been like working on it, and it's been hard because I'm so much in the present trauma, being harassed at work, and so I was sent home yesterday. And I really don't want this work. I want to be doing my mission, but it's like everything came up and resulted in me messing up my back today. So.
Well, first thing I want you to do is just relax. I just want you to relax into this moment. And first feel the divine amount. It feels like liquid light. I found myself sitting up really super straight the minute I heard your voice. And I'm watching this liquid light pouring into you. And it's pouring through your spine. Now, the other thing they're saying is that this liquid light is carrying the energy of divine support. That you are frustrated with the lack of support that is around you right now. And yeah, I feel it, sweetheart. I see it. And they are saying the support is right here. Open your eyes and breathe in the love that you are. And as you do, hear us guide you. And they're saying that this week ahead we'll find some surprises, and that everything that has happened has been to make you stop and pay attention that what you're looking for is right inside of you. And they're saying that as you love yourself even more, not only will your back resolve, you will stand straighter than you've ever stood before because you're ready to be seen. And thank you, Angel. Be good to you. I love you so much. Thank you for being the blessing that you are.
Big breath in. Trust this process.
Namaste, honey.
Namaste.
Many blessings. Many blessings. Shri, my heart is just so big around her, because how many of you are also having like serious physicality right now? I know I'm dancing with it, babes. I'm dancing with it constantly. It's amazing.
It's one of the things to remember. One of the comments she said is, I want to get on with my soul's mission. I want you to consider that this too is part of the mission.
Exactly.
This too is part of the tempering of your capacity to expand, to be compassionate to yourself, to love your body, to learn whatever lessons are here. And I know it's tough to hear that when we have pain, because the pain is so high up on the screen, so to speak. And yet everything that happens is there to expand us. And so with continued breathing, continued trust, we get through the really hard times, and we are indeed better for it.
Yeah. Hey, Shri, I just have to say I'm checking over here in the chat, and my heart is just so great. Somebody's asking for higher volume. They're saying our volume's too soft. I don't know why, angels. I really don't.
Well, I can turn it up a little bit for if you're
and
listening.
I can do that right there. I don't know if that helps too.
No.
But what they're also saying is that I wanted to read right here. I love this, that the Navigating the Inner Matrix, Jennifer started yesterday, which I'm very, very excited about. Jerry is in here, and Jerry talking about how, please take it. I've taken it twice. Yeah. And I love this from Helen. The Zen Pack is like the care package sent from our wise and loving universe. I love that. Okay, and somebody just said it sounds great where they are. Thank you. I feel so much better. We really take it seriously, and so I'm really glad to hear that. And so, yes, my angels, we are in this together, and we are here now. And again, if the Navigating the Inner Matrix, those of you that have already taken it, that already have the course, dust it off the shelf and take it again.
There are layers.
Shri and I updated this course not too long ago. So if you have a version older than a couple of years ago, maybe get the Zen Pack just to get the updated version, because there's a lot going on. And speaking of a lot going on in the week that's going on, Shri, I'm seeing here we have all these people with us just from everywhere, and it looks like we're going to Pueblo, Colorado. Hey, Pueblo, Colorado, namaste.
Namaste, Shri and Kira. It's Donna.
Hey, namaste, Angel.
Welcome.
Hi. So, I've been seeing some little messages, transformation, things like that, and I feel like this is coming. And Shri, I just want to say thank you. I love AMI, and then the Healer's Toolkit. There's just pieces in there I've been waiting for. It feels like my final pieces. But my question is if I could have a mini soul reading surrounding, there's a couple of tools still for the Crystalline Atlantean Healing Chamber that I've attempted to receive, but I've been blocked in a couple of different ways. So is there still something inside I need to release? Or is it Mercury? Or what's going on?
Well, thank you for asking, my love. And in many ways, similar to the letters and our other caller, in many ways, I think a lot of people are going through this moment where it's like, I know I'm supposed to be doing X, but why is Y happening? And here's the energy that I'm seeing around you. They're saying that what you are learning right now is a lesson in hesitancy. That this is about a reflection of an action that happened a while ago. And a moment where you were getting ready to do something, you didn't do it, and they're saying this is so that you can see that the more that you trust yourself in real time, the easier the doors will open. And they're saying, have no fear, all the doors are open. It's about you commanding them to stay open. And so it is. I love you, Donna. Thank you for calling in today.
I love you too, and thank you. That makes so much sense, and I just got the message that self-doubt is moving out.
Woohoo! I love that. I love that. Self-doubt is moving out. I love it. Woohoo! Thank you, Donna.
Many
Namaste.
blessings.
Many, many blessings. And, I do want to share with all of you here, I believe we are back on the air over at TFR Live. And, guys, I'm sorry we forgot to give you an official sign-off there, but welcome back. We're really glad you're here. And I do want to make sure that you all make a note, join us tomorrow. Remember that what we're talking about today is the second cycle within the cycle that has opened up. And because of that, the week ahead there's a lot more to share specifically about the week ahead tomorrow. And so again, I hope you would join us live tomorrow at Shri and Kira Live. And that's the Voice of Passionate Action at noon Pacific time. Now for you YouTubers, that broadcasts over at our other channel, Official Shri and Kira. And Shri, so many beautiful people waiting to say hello. Where are we going? Where are you taking me?
Well, how about we head to Baltimore?
We're going to Baltimore. All right. Namaste, Baltimore. Welcome.
Sherry, Sarah?
Hey,
Hello?
Namaste.
Hi, it's Rebecca. How are you?
Hi, Rebecca. Well, we are loving you. It's good to hear your voice.
Awesome. Can you hear me okay?
Beautifully.
Yeah,
Absolutely
yeah.
beautifully.
Great. I have to laugh after the last caller came in about self-doubt, because that's kind of why I'm calling in. So perfect timing. Excuse me. So I just wanted to call this morning. Just I love the messages that are coming through right now, and it's so in line with what's going on with me. With reviewing so much stuff and that balance and learning that balance. And this morning I sat. I can't catch my breath here in meditation real quick. And a message came through that before it came through, I was told to share on the show today. So if that's okay, would I be able to read it real quick?
Well, Rebecca, number one, there's got to be at least 150 people in the call board. So the fact that you're here means, of course, it's okay. They're making sure it happened, girlfriend. Go for it.
Okay, here it is. This is what came through. The balance of two lights is in the heart of the soul. The collaboration of all is in the alley of infinite possibilities. Expanding beyond our human limitations we place upon ourselves. So that is the message that came through today. I was told to share, to send out. So
thank
you so much for receiving my call.
Well, thank you for the blessing of sharing that with all of us. How timely and wise and perfect. And together we are better. I know Shri and I, my heart always smiles at the way these calls flow with every show.
Well, and to receive a little thread of divine wisdom to flow
rocks.
Through and remind us.
It rocks our world, and you rock our world. And so thanks for calling, Rebecca. Namaste, honey.
Oh, you're welcome. Feel the same way. Love you both.
Oh,
Bye-bye.
namaste. Bye, honey. All right, Shri, where are we going next?
Well, I'll tell you what, we can head up to Canada.
We're heading up to Canada. Namaste, Canada. Welcome. Looks like we're in Edmonton, Alberta.
Hello?
Hello, namaste.
Oh my goodness, this is so great. I felt into when Shri had opened up that line, and I'm like, it's me, it's coming, it's right now, it's here.
Cool.
And I'm so very blessed to express my utmost gratitude and love for everything you two do. It is just such a gift, and the reason I'm calling is for a mini soul reading. I feel like over the last week, the last 10 days rather, I was at a fruit festival, and it was just the highest vibrational setting I'd ever been a part of, and I feel like I had integrated so much, and I'm still processing so much, and I met the most amazing person, and it sort of redirected my entire path in a very positive direction, in the direction of elevation and expansion and upliftment. And it's so intense, and it's so crazy, it's so wonderful. And I just wanted to get a mini soul reading in terms of, just where I'm at and what I need to hear to best properly integrate these newfound energies and this new, elevation. It's crazy, and yeah, I would love a mini soul reading.
Well, I'm just loving you. Your energy is so beautiful, sweetheart. I've just been sitting here, and I'm like, Shri can attest. We're both like Cheshire Cat. Like my cheeks hurt from smiling around you so much. So, Angel, first thing, you are, and I love that you got on the air today, because the energy that is in you, that you are really saying yes to, and that's the first thing this group wants you to hear, is that all of this is happening because you've allowed yourself to say yes. And they're saying that the first thing that's integrating in around you is balance. And that's why I think this is just so extraordinary that you're here right now, and that everything that you've done right now has your balance energy. It's not that it was out of balance, it just needed support, right? That protection. And so you've started dancing. And everything that's happened to you over this very, think about it, August 15th was when this cycle within the cycle began. Mm-hmm. And so this is going to see a cycle, and it's going to tie with this August 15th through November 5 choice to choice moment. And so the gift that is before you right now is exactly what the divine directors came forward and talked about is before everybody right now. Mastery preparation. You are being gifted with rapid amplification and an opportunity to burst through before bursting through is going to be a lot harder. And so this is about saying yes. And that's why they wanted me to open with that as well, that they're saying, remember, all of this has happened because you said yes. And the more that you keep saying yes, the faster and with the greater clarity and, quite frankly, a lot of fun moments ahead. So I'm just really excited to meet you, my angel. My heart is so big around you. I love you. I got my arms around you.
I love you guys so much. Oh my goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful.
So are we.
Many, many blessings.
Many blessings, Angel. Namaste. Do you feel that?
Oh, yeah, sweet.
You know, I just really feel that. It's so beautiful. I love it.
You know, one of the things that was coming forward as you were sharing is that sometimes we have a refining sense or experience of balance.
Yes.
You know, I'm thinking, remembering back many years ago when I was in a kind of a manic depressive swing, you know, in my life, that I would have times.
This was pre-K.
This was way back.
Pre-K,
this is way
pre-Kira.
back. This is 40 years ago, and that this manic depressive swing. It's a little bit like our person that wrote in saying, I was over the moon and now I'm in the hole going spiraling
And I'm feeling
down.
like my passion is leaving me, or I'm feeling like my reason for being has changed.
Well, at one level, there is a balancing energy at work.
Yes,
Now this
absolutely.
is not necessarily a pleasant balancing energy, but when we begin to look at our life experiences and be aware, have the experience and the awareness of the energetics involved, we can then make the choices that will create more of the middle path. And so it's critical that our experience and our awareness are working together so that we can inform our choices. And this is how we grow. Now, the thing to remember also is that as we refine, what is balance? Well, balance is the male and the female energies. Balance is the spiritual life with the density life. Balance comes forward in so many ways.
Right.
And when we have been hanging out in one direction for a long time, sometimes the greater wisdom of spirit says, okay, time for you to catch a cold. Time for you to stop what you're doing because you're out there too far, meaning too consumed
Time
by
for your back to hurt.
Time for the back to say, I
Yeah.
can't stand this anymore.
Yeah, I mean, we each get to those moments, you know, and Zodkiel says it, right? Your body is the greatest lie detector.
And the body will tell you what's going on that your mind isn't fully attending to.
Right.
I used to have a strong belief in the conscious versus subconscious mind. And while there is a subconscious mind, it can be made conscious. So now what I believe is, where do we put our attention?
Right.
It's just that much. Is when our attention is consumed in one direction, that could be fruitful for a moment. However, we're then saying, what am I choosing not to attend to? What am I denying? And this is why it's so important to cultivate that relaxed attention that would allow us to lift into the witness of the witnesser and then continue the evolutionary process of lifting into an ascended perspective that allows us to enjoy our interactions yet not be defined by them.
Oh, Shri, I just love that. I just love that.
And we're all on this process. You got your whole lifetime, but once you're aware of it, why wait? You know,
exactly,
you know,
right?
It's
like using that good china.
It's one of the things. One of the ascended beings said to me one time. It says, once you're aware of what's true, to hesitate is tragic.
Yeah.
And yes, it's your choice. You can hesitate. However, once we know, we are responsible. We're able to respond from a more ascended information or context.
Yeah.
So, hey. This is what we do. We hold hands, we talk with each other, we help each other remember when we've forgotten to remember. and onward we go.
Indeed. So how about we go right over here to the, and I want to give a shout out to Scottish Ann over saying that she's starting Navigating the Inner Matrix next week.
Yay.
I'm really happy
Good
for
for
you.
you.
Yay. Thank you for saying yes to you. All right, Shri, I see that we are going right here. It looks like we're going to go to Cleveland, Ohio, because we have to say hi to Monica. Hey, Monica, namaste.
Hey, Sri and Kira, namaste.
Hi, sweetheart.
Welcome.
Hi. Well, I boldly want to go where no man has gone before, which is a fourth reading for my heart chakra.
Well, then, you know what's so funny is when you said, it was just cute. It was like these beings around you were very playful, kind of with your cute playfulness right now. And as you were saying, I'm boldly wanting to go where no man has gone before, this beautiful, gorgeous woman, like a Durga-ish on a big lion, is looking at you and saying, well, what about a woman? and what she's doing is basically saying, It's about you going where you want to go, not about where anyone has been or will ever go. And she's got her hands like right on your face. You know, it's kind of like one of these, right? And she's got her hands right on your face, and she's saying, my beloved masteress. And that's interesting. She's calling you a masteress. My beloved masteress, when will you let go of that which you believe is false and step forward into that which you know is true? And so it is.
Thank you. That's very poignant, very true. Resonates with me.
Well, thank you, honey. We love you.
Much love, dear.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
love.
Much love, sweetheart. Namaste. Whew, you know,
Well,
Shri,
let's all
it's
take that
been,
one home for a moment.
Well, you know, I'm still trying to get my breath back.
Uh-huh.
My goodness.
Because I think
Wow.
that, you know, true empowerment is being in alignment with that which is you. You are given gifts. You are given awareness. You have a history that you have used to cultivate wisdom nuggets,
Absolutely.
your own guidance pearls, and each of us
Nuggets and pearls.
Nuggets
Woo,
and pearls.
oh boy.
Oh my. You know, and so each of us is has these resources.
Yeah.
And we also have our enculturation, our conditioning, our childhood, and all that jazz.
Yeah.
That then we try to line these things up, and it sometimes takes many, many years to finally say enough is enough. I am going to surrender fully to my authentic energy, to my inner voice, and to damn the torpedoes, forward, here we go, you know, and just go for it. and sometimes we get close, and then we get closer, and we get closer. Well, that's okay. That's one way to get there.
That is true. It is one way to get there. And, you know, I do want to share that one of the things we'll be talking about tomorrow, but I want to bring it up again today, right now. And I'm going to put that, for those of you that are watching us live, I am going to go ahead and put up the 2019 year graphic again. And I want you to pay particular attention right here to the fact that we are now in this second cycle within the cycle that opened up August 15th and will carry us through to November 5th. Now, what's interesting here is that we will come out of this cycle in the middle of another Mercury retrograde, actively in it. You know, it's one of those things like you've been in hyperspace and everything's going great, and all of a sudden it's like coming out of hyperspace and you're like, what? Did we come into a minefield? You know, what the heck is going on? Well, that's what November 5th through 20th is going to feel like, because everything will be in front of you that is in front of you right now, but it'll be in front of you to amp the choice. And this is why it is so valuable to recognize what is before us right now is this dance of balance and power, and protection. And so this is what's important to recognize, is that balance is your protection. So take that in. Balance is protection. And the only way that that can become, and forgive me for using an absolute, but if you want the empowerment of the protection, then just gift yourself with saying yes to your own balance. And that is a dance that virtually all of us dance until we finally recognize that we are that energy, that dance is who we are. It's not something we have to learn or do. It's simply who we are. And that's what's before us in the week ahead of us. But it's also a week that's going to show that balance, protection, energy spinning into power in all of these realms of density. And that's why we have a whole other show to go tomorrow, because this is that right moment. As I mentioned earlier, this is a moment that's ripe for the coming week ahead, 10 days, very ripe for a lot of things. A lot of things.
And it's also a time to really practice your spiritual practices.
Yes.
And the purpose of the spiritual practice is to bring you into an authentic realization or an authentic state of beingness. And that when we have density on drugs, when we have the drama on steroids, when we have doubt rearing its head, then what is called for, the balance that is called for, is walk into the oasis of your soul.
Right.
Walk into the peaceful center inside, and you can get there in an instant. Sometimes we have to chant a mantra 100 times to get there. Other times we can take a breath and go, oh, yes, I'm there.
You're there.
Find out for yourself which practices support you to get into that zone of authentic beingness in a easy, wonderful way. And you're going to find so many practices at our homepage at sriandkira.com. There are practices you might have learned elsewhere, or there are practices that your inner wisdom is offering to you, because we all have a unique composition. Nobody's traveled your exact path. We have universal spiritual truths. We have universal human qualities, and then we have the unique application of all that stuff into this lifetime you call yours. And so you get to dance with that. That's your puzzle piece to put together. And as we begin to put it together, it gets simpler and simpler and simpler.
Well, and that's also the gift, isn't it? Because the gift is, as we relax into ourselves, and what Sri is describing is really the blessing of the yoga of self-ascension, sustained through the art of ascended living. And we really encourage you, please visit sriandkira.com. Check it out. The other thing is, we posted an article a couple weeks ago. Let me tell you exactly where you can find this article. This article is at onenesstalkradio.com. If you go to onenesstalkradio.com, right across the top, you will see a tab that says Oneness. When you mouse over that, you'll see articles, and it's right there. We also have the links in our e-cards. We also will have the link up with YouTube descriptions. But I really, with all of our heart, Sri and I really encourage you to read this article, because the energy of the polarity in consciousness is part of this metamorphosis where balance now has become the protection, and that this type of power that arises through anchoring into your higher frequency multidimensional witness self. And I'm going to put that up again, right? Remember, in the 9th dimension, start at the very top of this graphic, and if you're not there, it's just angels and angels and angels, but at the very top you have the 9th dimension, because in the 9th dimension you become the witness again. The ninth dimension is both an accomplishment and a landing pad. It's the jump that from the 9th you can literally catapult to the 33rd. And so in the 9th we become the witness again, and it's like a 360-degree witness experience. And then from the 9th we are able to witness the witnessing energy of the 7th dimension. This is where judgment relaxes, because in the 7th dimension we are witnessing. We are able to be empowered through our impartial beingness and the recognition of the bigger vision. And then in that 7th dimension, we are able to then gaze upon that 5th dimensional self as the witnesser, because the 5th dimensional witnesser is the ignition of compassion. This is where Buddhism can take you very, very quickly into the 5th dimensional witnesser experience. This is the ultimate compassion, the forgive them, they know not what they do. And then that, of course, brings us back into the 3rd dimension where we are the witness. And this is where a lot of us begin. There is, as we navigate the pyramid of spiritual awakening, what's important to recognize this week, as the realms of density will all be acting out, that layer, right? Remember when we move through, we have that strength, wisdom, and courage, right? Strength, wisdom, courage. All of those are going to be playing out in a very unique way.
Yeah.
In a very unique way. And that's why the stage is set for some very interesting interactions.
Well, and those interactions sometimes will cause you to wonder about who is sane and who is not. I'm reminded of, we have a little course out called Density Sanity. And from the ascended state of being, those that are operating strictly within the density paradigm,
right,
there's a lot of tragedy.
A lot
of tragic behavior, a lot of just unkind and hurtful, et cetera, et cetera. And from one perspective, it seems like an insane way to be. But when you're in it, it seems like the sanity that you are craving. You know, it's one of those paradoxes. And so density sanity versus ascended sanity. You'll find yourself dancing with that a little more as you truly anchor in your ascended energy. And we move in, as we were talking about the, especially the 5th dimension, that compassion for love them, they know what they do. Forgive them,
They know not what they do.
Because until we have risen above that drama, we cannot fully be aware of it.
Exactly.
You are swimming in it. I used to say to people, how do you explain water to a fish? You're breathing, living, doing density, and it's what you're doing. And until whatever happens to lift you out, and for many of us, it's pain. For many of us, it's a life crisis. For many of us, it's a passion that lifts us out. And we begin to gain in that perspective, and then all of a sudden now we have a portal that we can follow. And that's a gift.
You are the gift. and that really is it, is it not? You know, I was thinking about, as you were sharing, Sri, I was also reflecting into our community and the beautiful community that comes together every week. And again, I want to remind you, mark your calendar right now to join us tomorrow when we continue this conversation at noon Pacific time at onenesstalkradio.com, bbsradio.com, and of course YouTube, official Sri and Kira, Facebook, all of the affiliates. And as you move through this moment, as today is coming forward for you, look at the balance. What is coming back into balance? What resolved in July? Remember that July was all about resolution. It was all about, by the end of the month, you would have clarity and you would know where you stand. And then August came in with this rise of the empowered feminine. And we are literally in the week of releasing toxic masculinity. And so, of course, toxic masculinity came up, right? So everything, remember, everything is showing up in mirrors. Everything, this is why this graphic is here. Everything is spiraling together when we can literally become that archangelic presence that stands as the ninth dimensional witness. Witnessing the witnesser of the witness, then we can lift our consciousness. And part of what's happening with the energy of August, especially with what's coming in September, is that all of the dimensional frequencies are getting more robust. Everything is getting more robust. That's why the fourth is getting stronger. That's why this goopy, I put up that graphic again. That's why that goopy fury energy of the fourth, third dimension blend is happening. All of these are getting robust, which means that you will find yourself either feeling empowered or whipsawed based upon the acknowledgement of yes to you. And I was thinking about the self-doubt issue that came up in our callers today, the saying yes to ourselves issue that came up today. I was thinking about all the things that came up in our community today. That is exactly what needs to clear to have that mastery presence really get robust in the week ahead.
You know, and the stuff that comes up is really there for you to practice your mastery with.
Absolutely.
It isn't a definition. This isn't your report card. This is just stuff.
Yes, it is. And hey, over at TFR, we have 9 seconds left. We love you. We are so glad you have been here with us. Join us tomorrow.
and just to wrap up that our life gives us these experiences so we can practice our mastery, so we can course correct, so that we can love ourselves ever more deeply in our capacity to be the witnesser of the show.
Yeah.
And that's where your freedom lies. So, beloved ones, as we come to an end for today, may you take a hand to your heart. May you breathe deeply. And may you trust that all is truly well.
Namaste.
Namaste.